Can you talk about the knots which form during past events? What may happen if they are not released? What can it feel like when they are released? I have felt small pains in my chest after mantra and after hatha yoga recently, and I wondered if they were related.
And also what they're called.
What are they called? Yes, I'm coming to that. When there are unpleasant and traumatic experiences in your lifetime, the blood, the cells remember and capture like a film negative and create a substance called catecholamines, which retain the fears and the memories of the situation which one retracted from rather than endured. This is the mechanism of trauma, to react and not experience the thing at the time. And that stays clenched in the weakest parts of the body. It may be in the chest, it may be in the shoulders, it may be in the veins of the head or the thighs, and these can trouble us for many years unless they are released. And quite often through bodily exercise like hatha yoga, or putting yourself in stress positions, or chanting mantra, which works like a boiling pot of water on a cube of sugar in the bodily system, so that it shakes the knotted portions where the memories are locked in cellular groups, and it releases the catecholamines and it releases the knotting of the groups of cells which are tightened up and holding those memories. So many things can bring this out, but when it's released, at times there are the feelings and the memories rushing through the bloodstream, through the cellular system, through the consciousness of the event, and you can shake, you can cry, you can yell as these things come out. But this is important spring cleaning of the body. You should allow these things to come. If you find yourself shaking, increase the shaking. Don't try to stop it. If you find yourself crying, let yourself cry, because this is spring cleaning the psyche. These kind of tears are beneficial and not negative. And the freedom is feeling the fear and letting it happen. What we do generally is when these things come up in us, we try to press it down again. And that always causes more problems. It's just getting to that point where you say, okay, this is fear, this is whatever it is that's coming up. Let me see what it is, what it's doing, and allow it to happen. Only that way will it be released from the system, be released from the psyche. I had one woman who was always afraid to go into a castle. She didn't know why. She was afraid to buy a house because for some reason 4 walls meant being incarcerated in a castle. And after one strong mantra session, suddenly she felt herself in a medieval costume, and I saw her in a castle And immediately at the same time, psychic sight happened between her and me, and she saw me dressed as a medieval person, a lord or something, and suddenly she fell on the floor, gagging and grasping her throat, and the whole body was shaking, teeth chattering for 20 minutes, and she was reliving having had her throat cut in a dungeon in a castle, and the whole body played out the whole previous life dream experience. And after that, she was released from that trauma. She could go into castles, she could buy her first house with no problem. And so it is important to allow whatever is coming to come and watch it. Just watch it to death, because remember, these are historical pains. These are historical knots locked up in your physical system. And they've got to come out at some time. And especially in a safe environment like this, you can allow that to happen. So it's a wonderful freedom, even when the pain of what is released through your consciousness comes out. There is a joy in the crying, because at last that has been released. Sometimes the tears or the shaking comes without any image. You don't know why it is happening, but it's happening, so watch it, let it happen, go through with it, even exaggerate it, so that the other locked portions might be sparked off and released at the same time.
The feelings I had was there were small pains. They didn't involve memories, but because of the timing of them, because of their timing, I thought they might be associated with something coming up, so I breathed into them and felt them, but I didn't have memories associated with them.
No, this is it. I say sometimes you don't have memories. Sometimes they are pre-verbal, the brain having completed its construction. It takes 3 years for the child's brain, the infant's brain, to be completely developed. There is a kernel, and then there's an outer shell, and an outer shell beyond that. And it's only after 3 years that the whole brain is operating. That's when one hemisphere starts talking to the other. And that's when, unfortunately, the sense of ego begins. But before that, as I was saying before, if there's a baby in a crib and the door bangs, the baby's shocked, but it has no mentation or idea what it was that caused the bang. So the body is shocked, and the memory of the shock rests in the cellular system. Then whenever it hears a loud bang later on in life, or a car exhaust going bang, or somebody firing a gun, or a firework going off, or parents having a slagging match, fighting each other, there's a fear that is reacted by, or regenerated by the sound. So, but you don't know why you're more fearful in those situations than anybody else. Somebody else can have a big bang and not be bothered. Just, oh, well, there's some noise, like that. But if you've got something in your memory cells, then you will react.
One of those occasions was after my yoga retreat. It was during a very intense thunderstorm, to the point where it was overhead. I could feel the thunder going through my chest, the vibration, and then I felt the pains.
So did your grandmother used to terrify you about thunderstorms?
Maybe I was just scared of a thunderstorm when I was young.
My grandmother did. She used to make us hide under the kitchen table, and all the storms, never something might happen. But when When I was raising my daughter, I remembered that, and we used to go out and dance naked in the rain and say, yes, there's lightning, wow, yes, fantastic. So she has no fear of storms now.